Right from the start, notice how calm this exchange is. But here's the tension. The officer's polite tone masks a real legal gray area. Filming from public land versus corporate privacy. Stick around, because this conversation is about to test the limits of both.
But I didn't want to go ahead and start doing more when he's called you. I thought I'd wait.
What's your name, sorry?
I didn't give my name.
What's your name?
I don't need to give you my name, do I?
Well, at the moment, we've been called, and as a police officer, I'm asking for your details.
Why?
Because, like I said, obviously at the moment, you're ultimately what's happening here. Okay, so I've had a chat with the site manager. And I'm listening and understanding your point in saying that you've obviously come off the property. All right. I don't know if you know anything about Concordia, but having had a chat to the manager here, it's quite a secure building. All right. You're not allowed on there. That's come from him. Okay. And he's politely asked you to move on and obviously stop recording because of the nature of the supplies and the goods within the site. Okay.
I know what the company is because I got it off the internet.
There we go. So in this situation, the best thing we can do is just ask you to move on. All right. Not record. Obviously from here, they're asking you not to do it. Right. At the moment, he's saying that in the building and the business itself, they do obviously supply quite high secure goods across the world on flights. And at the moment, it's just not appropriate. And obviously, that's where we are with it. Okay. Now, in terms of what we're going to do as police, is we're going to do the same. We're just going to ask you to politely move on, just to obviously prevent any breach of the peace. Just to move on, go on your push bike and go and film a different place that is going to allow you to do that. Okay, and then it's just going to be end of sport. We will leave you to it. Okay, ultimately what we could potentially be facing is that if you're going to refuse to do that and allow for this business to move on with their day, we could be looking at other things then, couldn't we? Because what's happening here is this company now have had to send out managers and staff to obviously come and deal with yourself, and they're just kindly asking you, can you please stop filming?
Okay, this is where it gets interesting. The officer hints at other things that could happen if the auditor doesn't move. That's classic breach of the peace language. But it's not an arrestable offense by itself unless the auditor actually causes disruption. Smart viewers, keep note of that.
But I'm doing photography in a public place. I'm allowed.
What they're saying is,
I'm allowed.
You by all means,
I'm allowed.
go the other side of the road. Obviously.
That's what I said I was going to do. I said I'm going to be over there. Over there on that footpath.
You've asked to use their toilet. You're not allowed to do that.
No, I'm not going to.
You've asked to go in and have a tour. You're not allowed to do it, okay? There are rules in life that you have to follow.
No,
right?
I said to him, go on.
For you to ask where the toilet is, if I can use the toilet, can I come in and have a tour? It's a no, all right?
No, I know he said no. That's no problem. We're not going to get into
I'm not going to, and stuff.
I just asked him, I said, look, any chance I can use your toilet? He said, you must be joking. I said, fine. I said, as I'm here, would you like to give me a guided tour? I've got high vis. He said, no, I'm happy with that. But I just want to go on a public footpath and do my video and a little bit of drone footage.
He's not going to. He's not going to allow for the drone footage.
He doesn't.
Now pause for a second. Do you think the auditor should respect the company's wishes? Or is he right to stand firm on public filming rights? Drop your take in the comments. This one's a classic rights versus respect debate.
In the airspace officer.
But the problem is that as the manager, he's being quite respectful and polite to you, isn't he? And he's just saying, please sir, can you not do this, all right? Obviously, he knows a lot more than me and you about this company, all right? And he's saying that in the building itself, it's obviously quite a high secure place where they provide goods and materials to put on flights to travel, right?
I'm allowed to photograph in a public area.
I'm not saying you're not allowed to photograph.
I'm allowed.
Go over there then.
That's what I said I'd do.
Make yourself sparse, obviously take photos and stuff. But please don't go putting a drone up. We've got our headquarters there. That's our police headquarters. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No.
Right? That's our police headquarters there for Gwent Police.
But I'm not doing Gwent Police. I'm doing...
But obviously, as you can see, there's only
Here's a key point most people miss. The officer says, don't put the drone up. But legally, airspace above public land isn't owned by the company. Unless this area is marked as a flight restriction zone by the CAA, he's within his rights. So far, the auditor's on solid ground, or air in this case.
a matter of meters between these buildings, okay? So Concordia, they're obviously quite a high secure building. We've got our premises there as Gwent Police.
But I'm allowed to do my drone footage. I'm allowed to do my drone footage. The CAA they have different zones in the UK. They have like red zones and amber zones. I'm not a drone officer,
but I can certainly check with a drone officer if that's where we're going to get to. However, I feel that that's a little bit unnecessary for now. All right, and I think that what the best option here is just for you to obviously move on as you've been asked by a couple of people now. All right, just move on, get on with your day. And this
is my day. I'm allowed. I'm not being.
Like I said, just go across the way then, and obviously.
I was going to go across
across the way there. There's many other buildings on industrial estates that you can use.
And
that you can photograph.
I will do them, but I was here, and what you're telling me is that because he don't like it,
I can't film. It's not a case of him not liking it. He's the manager, isn't he? And what he's saying is that because of the nature of the materials and the goods that are inside of this building.
But it's not unlawful to do photography from a public place.
It's again with that company. The company are asking you not to do it.
Yeah, I'm allowed though.
Let's not be awkward. No. Let's not make things difficult because otherwise they're going to end up difficult. Okay.
Why?
Well, because of obviously the sort of attitude that you're giving.
I'm not. All I'm doing is exercising my rights to film in a public area.
But like I've just said, the company are saying to you, you're not allowed to do it. Please don't do it because our business has things in there that we don't.
This is where the power dynamic flips. The auditor asserts his legal right under the Civil Aviation Authority's guidelines, and suddenly the officer's authority starts to wobble. You can feel the frustration building here.
Don't want publicised across the internet and stuff.
The thing
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm also exercising my rights. Okay, lawful rights as a citizen in England and Wales. I'm allowed to take photography in a public place unless...
Photography is different to drone though.
No, that's my first point. My second point is I'm allowed to put a drone up over any place unless it's in a flight restriction zone. And I've got a CAA app that tells me I'm allowed. And you're telling me I'm not. Now that's not lawful. If you stop me, if you prevent me from doing that,
you're completely confusing what I've said. What I've said to you is that business are asking you not to. All right, they don't want you doing it. So can you not just respect that and be, respectful towards everybody involved here and please just take your photographs, but they just don't want to drone up, okay?
But I am being respectful. I mean, I'm not getting into an argument or any conflict with you guys, but I am allowed to put a drone up, and you're saying, well, be respectful to them and don't put one up. But I'm allowed, and it's my right. It's my right to put a drone up in a public area. It is. If you tell me, if you tell me if you're going to arrest me if I do it, then what I'll do, I won't do it, but I'll go to my lawyer because I'm allowed and I know my rights and the rights are that you're allowed. The law says that you're allowed to take photography, including drone footage, in a public place.
Okay, what's your surname, please?
What?
What's your surname, please?
I'm not giving my name.
You're going to refuse to give details now, are you?
Well, unless you threaten me with some sort of arrest.
I'm a police officer, sir. I don't threaten anyone.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't threaten.
So you're not going to threaten me with arrest if I don't give you...
Certainly not a threaten.
Okay.
I can use laws and powers.
The officer now asks for the auditor's name and date of birth. But here's the thing. Under UK law, you're not required to give your details unless you're suspected of a crime or under a specific section of PACE. That's why the auditor challenges her on what section. She doesn't have one.
But it's certainly not a threat.
I've not done nothing wrong.
Ultimately, what happened here is that the police have been called. Right? And I'm now having to deal with you as a person. Therefore, I'm asking for your name and date of birth.
Why?
Because you've been involved in a call that I'm actually dealing with.
Yeah, but I don't have to give it. I don't understand why.
So then, if you're not going to give details, then I would strongly advise for you to just move on. Because at the moment, you've got 3 units here that are obviously dealing with you. I don't know who you are.
Yeah, I know,
right?
but
I
I'm
need
just
to know who you are.
No, I'm a member of the public.
Yes, I appreciate that.
And I'm doing a lawful act. I'm doing photography and droning.
So why are you not, at the moment, you could be missing, you could even be wanted, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately, as a police officer, we have the right to take you to custody, to identify who you are, if you do refuse to give details. You've been involved in a call, all right?
No, but
you've been involved in something that the police have been called for. So as a police officer, I'm requesting your name and your date of birth.
Yeah, but under what section? I don't understand. Under what section are you asking for my name and date of birth? Because I'm legally, and I don't want to go into civil law, into unlawful arrest and unlawful detention here. But if we go down that path, you know, we don't want to. I don't want to go unlawful detention, unlawful arrest, unlawful giving of my details, because that all goes.
It's not an unlawful giving of details by any stretch.
Okay, well, if you felt that I've committed a crime, then you know, or there's a section under PACE,
I just feel,
and I know PACE very, very well. If you want to try and, you know, determine my name and address, I'd like to know.
I think you're just being extremely difficult and challenging, and I'm probably quite awkward at the moment.
I'm not. I'm exercising my rights.
It's just a little bit awkward when a person is obviously not just cooperating.
What just happened? Instead of escalating, the auditor walks away to de-escalate. That's a textbook move in auditing. Control the narrative, stay calm, and let the officers overextend. Brilliant tactic.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just trying to do my job.
I know you are, but
we've been called because you're obviously causing some obviously
I'm not.
some.
I was going over there.
But you're not, sir. I found you just here on the pavement, okay?
In a public road.
Right, you're up against the barrier.
Well, I'll happily go over there and over there and do my drone.
Go over there then.
I'll go over there and I'll take my photography from over there. I'm just being. Right, we'll find a safe place to launch our drone from. Over here. So she's asked my name and address. I've not given it, but I will give it if she threatens me with arrest. But I think she was trying to put a lot of pressure on me, that officer. A lot of pressure to provide my details to her, which is a bit unfair really, because I asked her what section and she couldn't answer that, so I've stepped away to diffuse any situation, and I'm hoping now that she can explain to them that there's nothing they can do. I'm happy to wait over here to de-escalate any situation. I'm not sure what's happening. They've gone in. She's going to come over to me. I'm not causing any trouble, officer. I just wanted to do what I...
Yeah, no, it's like I said, I just find like... When you're refusing to give something as simple as a name to a police officer, obviously it comes across as quite awkward, and that's probably my personal opinion of it, okay? And it's just sometimes it can make it a lot more difficult than it needs to be. On this occasion, obviously I've asked you to come from the building line, which you have. photographs, they're like, yeah, that's fine, take a photograph, no problem. They've asked you not to put a drone up, all right? That's come from the business manager. I can only advise for you not to do that.
Okay.
All right, if you don't listen to it, potentially they're going to call us back and it'll have to be escalated. All right, but at the moment, I'm quite happy that you've come across the way. Obviously, I've said to them, like, you know, you're not threatening or anything like that, but unfortunately it can sometimes come across like that when a person is refusing to leave, obviously, you know, making things a little bit difficult. Okay, so yeah, just please don't go doing anything silly. Please don't enter the building. Please don't enter past our barrier. All right, this pathway here, the pavement there, obviously that's public access, fine, but anything through the barrier, that's obviously their property, okay, and they can then again ask for you to leave.
To be honest, if they come out again and cause me hassle, I'll just move on.
And there it is. Drone up, calm skies, and the end of the drama. What's fascinating is how this whole clash came down to perception. Legality versus authority. Who do you think handled it better? The calm auditor or the officer trying to save face? Let's talk about it in the comments.
Because I don't want no trouble.
I'd probably advise for you to move on, but obviously you don't want to do that, do you?
Well, I'm just going to do a little bit of photography. It's only going to be 10-15 minutes.
No, I know that, but
and then I'll
as
be
I've
gone.
explained to you, in there they do high security goods, and that's why they're saying as a business, please don't do it. But but as a police officer, obviously you don't want to, you know, go down. We don't want to be causing any further issues for you. Okay, so just please respect what's been said. All right.
Thanks, officer.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye. And that's them gone. Well, where were we? Let's get the drone up. Well, let's get a bird's eye view of Concordia.
Take off. Home point updated.
That's where we are down there, next to our bike. There's the driveway to the building. And that's Concordia. What a load of fuss over nothing. So that does go round the other side, but we believe there's another company round there. So in fact it is a shared driveway, but there you are. Don't know if I can see myself there on a bike. Just behind that black car. Just have a look on top of their roof to see if we have if there are any leaks or guttering issues. Well, it looks all right to me.